So it has come to my attention that a bunch of South Africans want to see the end of BEE. Why did I say come to my attention? I was literally scrolling online, but I came across a website, a story on this website, and at first I was just like, yo, why would you want to end BEE? Why would you want to end something that is benefiting us blacks? Like, are you against us? Like, do you hate your own blackness? And then I realized, oh, okay. So you gotta think, has this thing ever benefited you specifically? 54% apparently want to see the end of it. So let's try to decipher this, but let's get into it. So we on Business Tech once again. It seems like one of those sites that don't try to twist the narrative. I don't know, I just feel that way. So apparently South Africans want to see the end of BEE, right? So this is a story that was released on the 11th of December, but like, this is very interesting because I don't know if this is a bunch of South Africans waking up, and we could argue about race, but I don't feel like it's relevant. I feel like it's more about what's good for South Africa, and to be honest, I'm quite happy. Like, I have hope that, maybe there are South Africans out there that want to see some change in this country. So more than half of South Africans want a key policy aimed at addressing racial inequality, scrapped, and hiring and promotions to be merit-based, according to the Institute for Justice and Reconciliation. So, like 54% of the country's inhabitants agree that the so-called BEE, or these broad-based black economic empowerment rules, should be phased out. I'm talking about. The Cape Town-based institute said it in a report published on its website. So 2/3 of South Africans apparently think that the use of racial categories does more harm than good. I'm talking about. So there's a lot of things that are happening here. So there's a story about Elon Musk here as well, and how the Pretoria-born billionaire, who is seeking to start operating his Starlink internet service in South Africa, said that laws are racist and unfairly prejudiced towards white citizens. I'm talking about. And there's a lot happening. And then we have the boring numbers here that nobody really cares about, but like, I'm gonna read through, for the sake of the people that love stats and validity and stuff like that. So 3 decades after the end of apartheid, so this BEE, you understand that it was meant to, the way I see it, bro, it's almost like disguised as a way to to empower the black majority, in a good way, but it's almost like revenge. I'm talking about. It literally seems like revenge for our history and those past laws. I'm talking about. But I don't know, I may be wrong, but then 80% of the country's 63 million people face a far higher unemployment rate than their white counterparts, 35.8% compared with 8.1% according to Stats South Africa. So white households on average also earn 6 times more than black. So you can already tell, Lana Oguti, this BEE, it wasn't really working. It was actually helping the entrenched, or helping them. In fact, you know what? Look at this line here. Entrenched a millionaire class of politically connected. So basically, it benefited that elite, that small group, that elite. I think it was less than 100 people that, bro, the party found that, or is this the DA, I think? Yeah, the Democratic Alliance, yes. The DA found that 1 trillion rands has been transferred to less than 100 people since apartheid ended in. Do you understand what that means? South Africa, guys, I may be young, stupid, probably don't have a future, but now I'm glad this is happening now. I'm glad a lot of people are speaking up and a lot of people are literally waking up. But you understand that I would imagine that people started speaking way after, as soon as 1994, as soon as ANC came to power. I would imagine people saw it coming, and it took us this long, more than 30 years, to see that, no man, we've been messed over. These people have been fucking us over for a long time. Less than 100 people. South Africa needs to wake up, because this is sad, bro, and it's affecting a lot of people, honestly. This may not be the full story, you know what I'm saying, but like, I feel like this is enough to justify everything that's happening today, man. God damn. Oh my days, bro. Has BEE been started to empower the black, or to empower that small elite? You know what I'm saying? That minority. That, I'm not talking about the white minority now. I'm talking about that elite, that small group, that club we are not part of. That club that everybody wants to join. and have a piece of. I find it really, 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 really scary that these people were able to cause so much harm in South Africa. You know what I'm saying? To cause so much, bro, this broad-based black economic empowerment was or is the cornerstone of economic transformation in this country, or so we believed, designed to undo the damage of apartheid. But a new major study from the Institute for Justice and Reconciliation has dropped a bomb, right? So the key statistic, like we've come across in the article, is that 54% of all South Africans, the majority of the country, want the BEE laws to be phased out, and that hiring and promotions be purely based on merit. So what this means is based on your ability and your qualification. You're basically your ability to do the job, and not because you're white or because you're black. But in this case, black empowerment, right? That's literally what it is. I'm not even trying to rage bait or whatever it's called. So this BEE policy that compels companies to include black South Africans in ownership, senior management, skills development, and procurement. Its purpose is noble: to create a racially representative economy. And I mean, if you look at it at face value, I would also believe that, at least we're gonna get an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like, bro, it's tough to even get a job to sweep now. You need connections, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't even matter anymore. But the new poll says something vital. 2/3 of South Africans, you know what I'm saying, they say that this thing does more harm than good. This is just not this, bro. This isn't just a call to end a policy. It's a cry to end a system that many feel is fueling division without actually helping the people it was designed for. So if the BEE's goal was to fix inequality, the numbers tell you that it has failed the majority. So this was basically a psyop. No, these are the numbers. You all love numbers so much. These are the numbers. You know what I'm saying? 30 years after democracy, the black unemployment rate is at a staggering 35 point. This is all from Stats SA actually. 35.8%. The white unemployment rate is 8.1. Bro, okay, some of you may argue, okay, they are the minority, but still though. And on average, the white household still earns 6 times more than black households. I mean, it's not everybody. BEE was supposed to close this gap. Instead, it seems to have created a new, smaller one. A tiny, powerful group of black elites who have benefited massively while millions of South Africans remain trapped. This brings us to the biggest critic mentioned in the article. I mean, they claim that the policy was has entrenched a millionaire class of politically connected insiders, basically. Some opposition parties claim that as much as 1 trillion has been transferred to less than 100 people or entities since 1994. The money spent for the transformation is leaking straight to do you understand? Let me try to explain this in simple terms. But imagine BEE as a giant water pipe, right? So the water is the opportunity, jobs, and wealth. So the pipe was built to take water from the rich areas, the minority, and bring it, the ones that were built by this regime, and to bring it down to all the dry gardens, right? The majority, the poor, us. So after 30 years, most of the poor gardens are still dry, right? Why? Because a very powerful, well-connected people found a way to put a small tap right at the top of the pipe. All the money opportunity comes out of that tap and fills their own swimming pools. Not even their own gardens, swimming pools. The poor South African sees the pipe, knows the water is meant for them, but none of it ever reaches its garden. It's crazy that I mentioned water because we're literally dealing with the water crisis. Rand water, I don't know what they're doing, bro. The whole of South Africa though, why Mamamanzi? Like, okay, South Africa's going through a lot of, problems. But the whole of South Africa? Come on. Is this another psyop? Is this another campaign you'll want to start? Vote for us and you'll never, ever, ever suffer drought. You'll never, ever. Your taps will never, ever go dry. I see it already. These people, bro, I don't know if it's emotionally hook us, but they're good at it. The survey, it basically says to stop trying to fix the old leaky pipe and to scrap it and let everyone compete fairly. And this is what I guess a lot of people are fighting for. But you know me, I'm concerned about how it's going to affect others like me. If the BEE is scrapped, jobs and contracts would strictly go to the most qualified persons regardless of race. Apparently. Let's say if things were to go well, what they call merit-based hiring, I mean, this could be great. I mean, if every child in South Africa gets a good quality education, it would be great, right? But right now we know it's not true though, because I mean, without the policy, they're historically at disadvantage, might find it even harder to compete. I don't know. But if it stays also, the majority of the benefits will likely continue flowing to the wealthy elite. The poor person in the township or village will continue to see no real change in their life, watching the rich get richer under the banner of transformation. You know what I'm saying? The challenge now is not whether to transform, but how to create a new system that truly helps the majority instead of enriching a select few. We should stop this black mindset. The thing would, I'm better if I am fed. I don't care about the other blacks. You should stop that black mindset. No, I'm talking to all of Ramaphosa. Come on, bruv. Nah, it's either you change attitude or just fuck off. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's up to y'all, yo, as a viewer. I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, is BEE doing more harm than good? Should it be scrapped for a purely merit-based system, or do we need to reform it entirely? I mean, let me know in the comments. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one, because this is insane.